It was just a
Why are
piece
you
of
eating?
paper.
Why are you eating in the? Why are you
Who's
eating in the
eating?
podcast?
Who's eating? What are you talking
Lata
about?
was eating. Just now, like he's making crunch
How does
noises.
my makeup look?
You look fine.
I'm done.
You look kind of like your lighting is a little bit. The lighting on you makes your skin look all the same. You look flat, and what's the word for it?
Hot.
No, like no, look at him, man. He looks like dead in the face. You know, like a
I'm tired. I'm tired today.
No, it's not.
He looks very pale.
You know what this is?
Yeah, you look pale.
Yeah, you know what this is?
That's not. You're praising him. Don't say that.
Bro, this is the subcontinent jealousy coming out where he goes, you look pale. You know, remember Fair and Lovely?
As an Indian, you've just praised him, you know? Like, but anyway. All right.
Thank you.
He's like, no, us Pathans are fairer.
With flip-flops in 2 weeks, what the Americans and 47 countries coalition didn't take in 20 years. Malaga, maybe these guys are the natural antidote. You people from the, AstraZeneca, Sputnik, Pfizer, call this guy, the Mujahid, Abdullah Mujahid, and ask him, these guys are the natural antidote. And now I called my friend Irina Radulescu, and I told her, Irina, maybe these guys are the antidote. And she told me, no, they are the Omega variant. Maybe these guys are the Omega variant. We need their blood. We need their sperm. We have to do a Taliban sperm bank, you know. We don't want to kill them. We want to keep them alive because maybe they save humanity. Think about it.
Bro,
this is just a logic, you know, the Greek logic.
Okay, there you go, the Greek.
Can someone explain this?
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Masjid Carpark podcast, episode 29. As you can see, Lata and myself are still trying to figure out what's going on. Please like, subscribe, and leave anything you want to say in the comment section. What the heck just happened?
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. MashaAllah.
So, I'm still processing what just
trying
happened.
To process?
Yeah. That's Greek logic there for you. The weird thing is,
I think that guy's talking about we've had lockdowns and all of this stuff. Is that what he's talking about? But how come they haven't had
They just want a war. There's no from every video, it doesn't look like there's social distancing. There's no mask. It's like the world before 2020. And maybe we should make a bank for their, you know what? So
I'll let you bring
as a way to save humanity.
Can you imagine going to them and telling them your idea? Listen, one of our Greek mates had an idea. Here's a cup.
The funny thing about the Greek guy is that there's two places probably in the world where we can. I'm not sure about you guys, but Melbourne, like being raised in Melbourne, I'm not sure South Australia is like that because Abdul Wajid, you grew up in South Australia.
There's not a huge amount, but I had I've got a very close friend that is of Greek ethnicity.
Yeah, but in Melbourne, it's like if you've been to school here, it's like it's the most Greeks. They said the most Greeks in a city after Athens or something like that is in Melbourne. Something like some ridiculous amount. So like in one town city. So we've been overly exposed. So unfortunately, or fortunately, we know all the swear words. It's like I think most people do, but anyway. Anyway, alhamdulillah.
What's a swear word?
Huh?
What's a swear word?
Yeah, Mr. Pies.
Anyone that knows me is just gone like this.
Yeah. No, but the Greeks, we've had we grew up with school, especially like I was in Doncaster, so in Baldwin, heaps in primary school were heaps.
Really?
With the
really, it was the northern suburbs. And actually, no, southeastern suburbs.
Baldwin, they've been for like I'm not sure about other areas, but like in Baldwin, in northern suburbs are there, but in Doncaster, like there's Italians, old Italians, Greeks. They've been there for ages. Yeah, nice.
They're good value. Yeah, they're good value. They're very good value. They're funny people, man.
Okay, that's what you mean by good value.
And then we grew up with Acropolis now, and Wog Boys. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We grew up with all this, Yeah,
I
Melbourne's
don't
like
think I don't think the new generation knows anything about Wogboy or Acropolis now.
yeah, these are like shows
I
and things
doubt it,
that
yeah.
in the 90s.
like-
Yeah,
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
I wonder what
Well,
replaced it.
90s
Like the
90s
ethnic-
shows were proper. I mean,
Do you remember? Do you remember that
what
there
we
was
have
an
now?
80? Like, do you remember that 80s show with the racist white guy? He's got a Greek son-in-law and he vacuums his driveway all the time.
what are you talking about?
I can't. Oh, it was this TV show. It was hilarious.
I can't remember.
Okay, that was
I
his-
never heard.
Not Neighbours.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's no
They-
ethnics for neighbours.
Can you
There's
believe
no
Neighbours is
on Home and
still?
Away.
Can you believe Neighbours and Home and Away is still going? They were
Yeah.
going to
You know-
cancel.
you know-
That's the
they were
whole
going to-
point.
You know, I remember
That's the
Neighbours and-
Ertugrul of Australia.
Yeah, but
Not even just that.
Oh,
I
not
actually
quite.
remember Neighbours in Kenya when I was about 3 or 4 years
No,
old.
man.
I remember the adults watching it. Yeah.
And it's really
Yeah.
So
it's really popular in
And-
England for some
Yeah,
reason.
that's why it's still going. That's why it hasn't been canned. It was going to get cancelled in Australia, but the demand in the UK is high.
There used to be that other one, East Street, was it?
EastEnders?
East Street.
No, I don't remember East.
East Street.
No,
Okay.
I don't remember.
Well, what's the earliest like old school where the whole family gets together? I don't know if that happened with you, and they watch the show. What's the earliest one you can remember?
No, I
I'll
don't think
I'll
it
give
was.
you a blast from the past. This is when we were growing up in country SA. It was called a country practice.
Yeah.
Have you guys,
Oh,
have you
wow.
guys heard of that?
That's- yeah, I remember that.
That's
wow,
old
that's like when I was in
school.
primary school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's,
Both of us have just gone.
that's a long time
Yeah. So was I actually.
ago.
Country practice. That was a Esme. That's it.
How's everything going, guys?
I don't know where the start of this podcast went, but alhamdulillah. What about yourself?
Yeah, good. Alhamdulillah, I gave myself a haircut. I was waiting for the end of the lockdown, but then I just stuffed this and just took the clippers and went for a number 2. And
Yeah, we can tell.
Yeah.
Very,
Voila.
very,
Yeah.
very brave, mashallah. Just to
no,
stand.
no, just the thing is
by
that's all it
yourself.
is. But it's the back. Yeah, the neck. Don't ask. I don't know what's back there, but I tried. I feel it. There's like,
Okay,
feels
I think
like
you need to turn around now.
huh?
You need to turn around. We
I
need to
don't
see
know.
the back of the neck. We need to see the back of the neck.
Can you
The
see it?
chair's blocking it, dude.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like.
Can you see it?
And your jacket.
My jacket's not up to my neck, man. I don't know.
Looks like
Man.
Actually,
looks
no,
like
that's a decent job. That's a
ro-
decent job
roast
for-
beef. Looks like roast beef.
For not being
The
able to
neck.
see.
Okay.
Pretty straight line.
Or roast ham.
Jazakallah khair. Yeah. Anyway, giving
Wages
I was going to get a proper haircut, but then I said, stuff it. I'm going to be home anyway for the next month, probably 2 months, and no point spending the money.
No, not if we reach 80% vaccination rates. Freedom. We've got the jab, bruv.
Yeah.
Lada,
I got
we'll
mine.
send
I
you-
got mine
we'll
2
send
days
you
ago.
videos.
I got my second jab 2 days ago, alhamdulillah, and
Oh,
mashallah. I got sick. I got it on Wednesday. Then I got the expected fever and all that. I had a fever from yesterday morning, from Thursday. So we're recording this Thursday night. Friday night. I don't even know what day it is. When you don't do Jummah or you're not going to the mosque, you just
Yeah.
sort of like every day is the same. But
What kind of fever was it? Was it tough or just pretty easy?
No, it was okay.
Okay.
Like body aches, like just felt like for about 12 hours, it was just Nurofen and just resting, not just chilling out, but I could really feel it. And then it went. So last night, maybe like sort of like there's a 12-hour period, and then after that it was gone. So now I'm sort of like within 48 hours of the vaccine, so I'm like 90% back to normal. So it's pretty much
Have you
like
walked
just
through
sort
a
of
metal
flu.
detector yet?
It was going well till this bloody mic problem. Your one sounds
Yeah.
good. What have you got? AirPods?
Yeah, I'm using AirPods.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he's back. Trying to get down to him.
Guess who's back? Is that better?
Much better.
Yeah, much better.
Alhamdulillah.
Oh, really?
Big
So
difference.
it wasn't you, it was me.
No.
Yeah, the two of us can't be wrong. Like in a thing, and it's you.
Well, you can.
No. All right.
All right.
So I do apologize. A bit of a cut off, and we had to change Abdul Wajid's
What cut off?
phone.
No, don't cut it. Don't cut anything off. Leave it.
No. Well, no. I'm not going to put people
everybody
through
will
10
see
minutes.
the.
I'm not
Everybody
going
will
to put
see
them
the
through
pain
10
that I go
minutes
through.
of. I'm not going to put them through 10 minutes of, something you should have done during the week. But anyway,
Look at this bloke.
which is get a new mic.
Bye. Ooh.
Yeah. Where were we? I was talking about my fever. That's right. And you know how I so lockdown haircuts, second vaccine jab, alhamdulillah, I've got it. I should get my passport very soon.
It's just it's a thing on the internet. It's just a certificate.
Yeah, I just like
So that's all you need to do.
yeah. So Abia, what is it like? Does it allow me to go anywhere? Is there restrictions lifted for me? Or?
Bro, I've got no idea, man.
You're a new type of citizen.
Yeah, I embrace. I don't really care.
You are now chipped and ready.
Have you got a driver's license, Lata?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But does he have that driver's license flowing through his blood?
Have you got a Medicare card, a healthcare card? Have you got
all
everything on some sort
all
of
the above.
Yeah, exactly. So what's the difference?
Yeah, but the question is, does he
add
have
one more to it? A vaccine card, Make sure your vaccines are up to date. And they already do that for kids. Sorry. They already do that for kids, like you can't get, if your kids are not vaccinated, then they'll deprive you of certain benefits and, so.
Yeah, actually that's happening because I've got to get my 6-month-old vaccinated, Yusuf, and I haven't done it, so I've been getting letters from our pals at Centrelink.
Okay.
Not Centrelink, what's it called? Medicare.
Why don't you get it done when he was born?
Home birth, bruv.
Oh, I thought they offered it. Okay.
No, so we've got to take him to the doctor, and I keep forgetting to make the appointment. He'll be right. I'm not microchipping him just yet. It's a conspiracy. They want to control my son.
Yeah.
Good luck. I can't even control him.
Because they want to get to you because you're so valuable.
You think that's what it is? They're getting to me through him.
Yeah, that's right.
But I've already been
fate of the world. Fate of the world depends on
the fate of the world depends on me.
Yeah.
Guys, everybody better fall in sajda.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we were having we have a pre-podcast meeting. So what happens is we will meet a couple of nights before or one night before, and we'll discuss what's happening, just little topics to talk about in the podcast, so that we're not wasting time like Malana did today, fixing microphones and stuff like that. So
we're getting a bit of interference from your mic.
Are you serious?
I think you just pressed it or something. Yeah, just keep it still. No. It's fine. Just keep it still. Don't crumple it or with your shirt or something. Move it too much.
How does my voice sound in your ears now, Malana?
It's very clear. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah.
No,
don't move. You moved again. You did it again. Something happened then.
It's called being human. All right. And
but it's annoying for the listeners. Allah forgive you.
Listeners, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive me and have patience with Shaykh Khalid. Sometimes he does this. Right now,
I'm loving this back and forth between you two.
So in our pre-meeting, there's opinions given, and we sort of talk about the topic a little bit, just so if we don't know anything or what's happening in the community or whatever, just try to make a list of things, or maybe we should cover these topics, so we don't just
and about each other. The thing that came to mind for this pre-meeting one, the whole point of bringing it up was Irfan just was on it, and he just looks at Sheikh and goes, "What happened to your diet?"
Well, he's wrong.
The way he said it was
I've lost
gold, and I was like, we needed to record that.
Look, I've put on a total of 10 kilos during this whole lockdown 1.5 year, but I'm proud to say in the last month I've lost 3.5 kilos. But because I had the haircut and I had a very tight cap on, so I saw my mum today. She goes to me, your face looks puffed, like you look, bloated or something like that. I said, yeah, because yeah, sort of, yeah. So I said, no, I had a fever and, a reaction to the vaccine or whatever.
But does your face go puffy if you have a fever?
It feels, I don't know. I don't feel it that much, but
could it be a lot of water retention?
No, because I checked the scales today. I've lost 3.5 kilos as of today, so they didn't change over the last 24 hours. So, and I figured out I'm back on keto, and I figured out my secret is that the cheat day, which is supposed to be once a week or 2 weeks or whatever.
Is that the day where you can go crazy, right? Do whatever you want.
Yeah, but I realized that doesn't work for me.
Eat whatever you want, basically.
Yeah, the problem with that is once I go on that, it becomes like a cheat week and a cheat month, and I can't recover from it. So
just keep going.
And so now what I do is like to get the feeling of cheating. This is what I realized about myself at the age of 40 plus. I realized this about myself. The way to trick the system is that there'll be one day a week where I'll eat, quote unquote, I don't want to say binge, but eat whatever I want of nice food that's keto friendly. So, for example, they got these Atkin chocolate bars, like chocolate fudge, caramel fudge, but they only got like 3 grams of sugar in it.
Bro, that reminds me, the missus. You got to check this out. The missus brought.
I'm just telling you about a discovery I made myself. This could change my life.
Yeah,
Thanks.
this fake cherry ripe from Coles. It changed my life. It's a healthy one, and it tastes. Bro, it's a healthy cherry ripe. It tastes better than the real one. So the real one's
we got to do these hacks. We got to do these hacks.
Understand.
I mean,
the point what Abdul Wajid was trying to make earlier. Sorry, Lata, making that. What happens is when we have these
Khalid's put on weight. Oh, sorry, the meeting.
Like this, they insult the sheikh. They don't want their kids to be ulama one day. Do you want your kids to be alims? You're supposed to respect them. I'm not saying I'm an alim, but you know who's an alim or not an alim. And
may Allah make my kids skinny alims. Sorry, forgive me. May Allah make my kids skinny alims.
Yeah, one of the signs of Qiyamah is overweight ulama. Allah say that.
All right, no, Lata, enough. Leave him alone, man. He's trying. Good boy.
What?
Good man.
I'm just observing, man. Like,
how's Noon doing?
Noon is doing, mashallah. He's
breathing.
He's teething, so he's got his 2 little teeth popping out. And as a result of that, he's very vocal. So I think it's just getting out frustration, which is very strange because he's normally very quiet, and so now I'm getting used to him being loud, which is
he's annoying.
Surprising.
It's cool, man. It's cool.
I actually like it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Oh, it's ambient noise in the background. A kid crying.
Yeah, ambient noise.
Lets you know he's alive.
Yes, more or less. Let's admit he's alive, but I don't know. It's just
mashallah.
It's weird to talk about because being a father for the first time, it's like everything that he does is just amazing to me. I don't know. Maybe it's because like I'm a new dad, but like he could fight and I'd be amazed.
Just like that.
Oh. What
yeah.
just happened? Awkward silence.
No. Just thinking about the northern suburbs and
the microphone
situation. No, your microphone's okay.
Bad,
just if you don't move it too much, you're okay. It sounds okay, but just don't move it too much. Like when you laugh, don't move so much.
That's going to be very, very hard for Wajid.
Yeah,
he's one of the most animated people I know.
I was just thinking about the northern suburbs and what they're saying about COVID, and the level of vaccination is very low in the north, where a lot of
vaccine hesitancy in the north is ridiculous. Like it's extreme.
And I think because of that, we're paying the price as well. Unfortunately,
we are, and people will only realize when it happens to someone close to them. Unfortunately, may Allah protect us all. But you'll see a lot of these guys, they'll be, that send out videos or whatever, that have got COVID. They're like, I didn't believe it. I didn't think it was real. The guys, so the whole vaccine hesitancy thing. I mean, guys are now sending out videos saying, "Oh, I didn't believe it, but it's real." But when they're they're in hospital, or when they're about to get into hospital and they're extremely sick, and I don't know how to combat it. I don't know how to get through to people
When you
because
when you say they say it's real, like there are still people out there that think COVID is not real.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, they'll say this is not a pandemic. This is not a
It's a flu. It's like a flu, and then on top of that,
Yeah.
they'll also say that
Until it
you know the
happens, I
vaccine
see-
doesn't work.
I thought we went past that.
Nah, man,
No, there is some people. There's
We're
some
not
people
past that.
somehow but I've seen that those same people, they change when it happens
Yeah.
to someone close to them. It's like
that's
more
the
about
scary part. Do we need to wait for that though? That's my question. Do we need to wait
yeah,
for?
but you know,
for it
there's
to
a
happen to someone
problem.
close
There
to
is
you?
a problem in Muslims. There is a problem in some Muslims. I shouldn't say all Muslims, because majority of Muslims, probably 99% will probably get the vaccine and no issue. I think that it's a general reflection of not Muslims, but because we deal with Muslims and mosques and all that sort of stuff. So that's probably why we need to talk in that terms. But it's really a reflection of the whole society. You're going to have COVID skeptics, vaccine skeptics from Muslims and non-Muslims. So, but in terms of I probably not, it's not a specific Muslim issue, but within Muslims, I noticed that there are certain groups or communities that are averse to expertise, and medical expertise and Islamic expertise. Like that, one of them should be enough. Like as you as a human being to use your logic. All right, he's an expert on the field, and I should listen. No, even if it's doubled up, like even as an alim telling you, and there's a mufti telling you, and a sheikh telling you, who study Sharia, because that's an Islamic qualification. Allah says, if you don't know, ask the people who know, as people remember, and it's men's ulama of Deen, Sharia. And then the doctors also tell you as well, who are experts of their field. And interestingly enough, both fields, like they're the most prized academic fields within Islam, right? In terms of like ilm, because of the obvious thing, Sharia. And that's why even Imam Shafi rahmallah said that, the ilm is two types, the ilm of Sharia and the ilm of tib, medicine. Because by medicine, if you take care of the body, you'll be able to do worship. Yeah, it's held that high. It's not just held up by Desis and Egyptians, and in certain communities they hold up doctor, engineer, doctor. Like it's because it is prestigious, right? It is prestigious in the sense of, and if you think about it, I find doctors amazing because doctors are like they're usually the smartest in the school. They're like the most intelligent, hardworking student. They have to be, and then they turn the expertise to actually go sit in a surgery or an emergency or a doctor's office to help people. Yeah, they get paid well. But think about that. Like, you're that smart, intelligent, then you spend 6 years of your life working very hard, studying very hard, and furthermore. And then on top of that, you use that to help people, humanity. So it's kind of amazing, actually. So, but some people are the ones who are probably not, a lot of them probably not, they were not, they're very far from being a doctor. I don't know. I don't want to say they're dumb, but they're right because there's educated. There's educated people as well. They're like that as well. But
there's educated people that are very dumb as well. There's doctors that are very dumb as well. So we're not talking about. We can't talk about intelligence. It's not about intelligence. But I don't think it's about intelligence. I think it's more about ignorance.
Yeah, but
because you have some very intelligent people that are not doctors.
It's kind of like it's almost like a parody of
it's not just doctors. Not about it's not about intelligence. It's about expertise. So some people have a disdain for expertise. When the experts tell them, even the head doctor tells them of the country or the state, advising them what they have to do for their safety, people are not taking it. You have to go by expert advice. That's like
the reason
that's an Islamic principle. But then, like, people are not leaving.
They think it's fake.
Yeah, because because they're following. What are they following? Instead of leaving expertise, they just follow whatever they want to follow. So anyway, we talked about this before, but I just noticed that there's certain quarters. But when they cop it or their near relatives cop it, then you see the tune changes very quickly as well. So inshallah, it doesn't come to that. I think most people are sensible, and they can be thing. I was listening to the what was it, the Joe Rogan podcast today. Joe Rogan copped it, so but he's okay now. So
wasn't he taking that? Wasn't he taking that?
He took everything.
Ivermectin. Nah, he didn't. Did he take ivermectin?
I think so. Yeah, he took. And the thing is with ivermectin,
sure
if you read this,
I read that on the internet.
There's studies on it. There's studies on. He took ivermectin, and because ivermectin can. It's used in multiple. It's used in human beings. It's not like just for horse deworming. I don't think in Australia it's like officially, given the AOK. Like actually, it's maybe the opposite. It's like, but in the US, like there's many doctors. Because I was watching his podcast today and he's explaining it, that people have totally gone against, which was a good podcast actually. Today end of this week podcast, and where he was explaining not him. There's people that he brought and they were explaining because of the fake media or the fake news or the mainstream media, the way they approach things, especially the last 4 years with Trump, they became so tribalistic, right? So
in the US, it is very, very, very tribal.
The media is extreme, but because of that, they've lost their what's the word for it? Their
freedom of the press.
No. They've lost their
impartiality.
Impartiality. Yeah. So they've gone like anything that comes from the other side, everything comes from Fauci is always correct, even though he lied. It's on record. And everything that comes from the other, of course, we're not under their medical thing. That's their problem over there. But it's something to understand. Like even the ivermectin thing, and if you look at it and you look at expert doctors, what they've said about it from Japan, and other things, he actually questioned it. They have a serious problem. Like, and the media then just, of course, they're not medical experts either. But the way they tried to destroy him, and he didn't say things that he didn't say, and so I'm not like on one side like he's a UFC commentator, right, and a podcaster. He's not like us. Like we don't have 10 million followers, but we're he's a person who just talks to people into. But he does bring on experts, and these experts have mentioned certain things about various other treatments that might be able to help. Put it that way. And the vaccine is not absolute, and we know that now they've got breakthrough cases, which means that the vaccine is not actually helping certain people. Therefore, it's not the vaccine.
You look at what's happening in Israel right now. Apparently, Israel has the highest vaccine rate, and
like 90%. And then
they're going through lockdowns again,
like third or fourth wave. But this wave is coming after 90% is double vaccinated, right? And so now they back to lockdown. So this is what I think what the experts
are they the people back that into lockdowns now?
Yeah, there's spikes now happening. People are getting it, and so now they're saying, we need it. They need a third booster shot, right? And the thing is that one of the guys that was talking on, I can't remember what his expertise is or if he's got any expertise as well, but he might have been talking more in the media terms. But he was quoting experts and so forth that the vaccine is not. It's effective, but it's not foolproof. And we have put all our eggs in one basket.
I think we already know that.
Yeah, but
by
placing so much trust on it to the point of all other treatments are excluded, including ivermectin and other things. Okay. Right? That's what it is. Like this is like the technological advance of developing that specific the Pfizer vaccine is a technological breakthrough. But it's so unsophisticated and so limited and narrow in its effect, despite it being very effective. But if you have variants, then what do? Like you have a different variant. Now, at the moment, as far as we know, that in most cases, the vaccines at the moment, they cover most of the variants for most people. So it's effective. Like it could have the effect of the circuit breaker in terms of herd immunity and all that sort of stuff. There's because it's a communal sickness, so it could be very helpful. Like it is helpful like that. But at the same time as well, Israel as a country, it's going into, so it's not 100% like this is. So I think what he was like, he had like these special IV drips, like he put whatever they gave to the Trump when he got it, he took. And you have to think about that. Like, if you see the cocktail of drugs, the cocktail of drugs and drips and things they gave to, like,
when you're that rich, you can
exactly.
you can buy
Why
anything.
is it that treatments are there available to all these rich? Like, they threw the kitchen sink, as I said, to Trump, and it worked for him. And that's what Joe Rogan said, that he had that ready, like that whole set of things that he's going to do. Exactly the same, and he did the same thing and he said, after 5 days, he goes, I'm back in the gym. I'm back to normal.
Wow.
So to rub it in a little bit, he said something else, but I won't say it. But the point being is that it's the whole medical treatment is about you and the doctor, and the doctor looking at your care and managing a program for you of your care. Isn't that right? Like, you go to a doctor and you present yourself. It's not like forced down everybody's throat as a state policy, right? This is a very strange thing that we're going through at the moment. The way we've been treated, right?
Do you think because of that there's a distrust? That's why
there is.
That's why everyone's like.
I think that's where this is coming from as well, because nowhere in the past, well, not in my lifetime anyway, in my short 27-year-old lifetime, have we ever had, right, everyone has to get this done, mask, you can't go out, so it is
too much noise. Abdul Wajid, you're bumping the thing. Sorry.
So it's definitely a different situation than what we're used to. Right?
Yeah,
but
of course.
At the same time, COVID is a different disease or pandemic than what we're used to.
Yeah, but that's not what the point he's trying to make. One of those experts or people that he brought on, the point he's trying to make, at the end of the day, medical treatment, and this is why Australia has not even forced it in for, like, it's your choice if you want to do it. They know that they're going to get to the 80-90%, because there'll be 10% holdouts, but 90% are going to get it done because they accept the advice that is coming from the experts. It's just slow getting there, but you can see these stats already. They're already getting up to the numbers. So most people are sensible; they'll get it done. But that's a really, really good point they brought up. At the end of the day, medical treatment is a purview of, it's a relationship between you and your doctor, and a doctor will look at all the varying, without influence of social media, without influence of thing. Will look at based on the scientific advice. And ivermectin for some doctors was considered. Although the doses in Australia, like according to the law, like the doses you'll need to take is, I think they're above the safety levels, right? It's not safe for human beings. Ivermectin is not unsafe because humans use it for other things as well, right?
Then what the argument you're making right now is an anti-vaxxer argument.
No.
This is why. I'm not saying you're taking that side.
How do you take it as anti-vaxxer? No, I'm talking about care.
How?
As a vaccine, like at the end of the day.
I shouldn't take the vaccine then. If you're saying that,
I didn't say that. No, because there is a level of coverage that it offers, but it's not because of the breakthrough cases and because of the what's happening, the spikes in Israel. It means that it's not foolproof.
Yeah,
for that you need to have a range. That's why it still needs to go through. You still need to have that relationship with your doctor. In Australia, we're fortunate we have a free medical system where you can take advice. For example, all right, you should take these vitamins. You should make sure you have a healthy diet. You should have there's a whole range. Yeah, exactly. I didn't say along with the vaccine.
No. I'm not saying that. Listen. I get it. I'm not saying that.
You just call me an anti-vaxxer, and I'm not.
I didn't call you an anti-vaxxer.
You're saying I'm giving the argument of anti-vaxxers.
No, I'm not.
I'm not.
Calling you
That's
an
not what they.
That's I know you're not. You're very.
That's not what anti-vaxxers say.
No.
I want to understand what you're saying. Though, Wajid.
Okay.
What are you saying?
What you're saying, Maulana. I'm not saying you're an anti-vaxxer. Don't take it so personally, bro. Right? You're not an anti-vaxxer. I know that. You're one of the biggest supporters for vaccines. Where I'm coming at from is if an anti-vaxxer was to put forward their arguments, these are the type of arguments that they're putting forward.
I'm saying get the vaccine.
The big picture they're missing. No, what they're saying is, look, ivermectin works, this works as well. The government's just forcing us to do it without realizing it. But the point the good point.
Molana is saying take the vaccine.
I know he is, and I'm agreeing with him.
But because the vaccine is not foolproof, right? There might be other things that you and your doctor can talk about, and have like another additional layer of protection. I don't know, vitamins or whatever it is.
This is the point I want to make. I think that's been lost in translation, because it's a very good point that Molana just made. Right? It's been lost in translation with all the advertising and everything. Because basically, what we're saying, what understanding today is, the government's telling you to take it, or the health authorities are telling you to take it. Maybe the government should have taken a line of, go see your doctor and see what they advise. If they advise you to take the vaccine, take it. If they advise something else for you, take it. Could it be that the reason we're in this place is because we feel like we weren't, or people that are against vaccinations or whatever it is, feel like they didn't have a choice? Because that choice is being removed. Yes, the choice is there. But you can take it or not take it. But
that goes back to what Malala was saying about how people were getting this this idea of the vaccine, like shoved down their throats, whereas in the past,
that's what I'm agreeing with that.
You speak to your doctor, you decide what medicine you take.
I get it that we're in emergency. I've said that previously. We're in emergency.
That's why.
This is abnormal circumstances.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But this week I was just looking at it, the media's role in it, and the negative media role. When, look, for example, the Ivermectin one, the way they've approached it, and the way they've attacked people who are proponents for it and whatever, they've actually,
it's had a negative effect. It's had a detrimental
exactly.
effect.
No. But the negative are really and especially even with the Afghanistan thing, I'm watching the media and how they frame things. I mean, I don't blame them being called fake news. They are really they're driving an agenda or whatever it is. They drive.
Of course, but the mainstream media, 100%. That's what it does.
Yeah,
that's what gets them
this
views.
Is privately
that's what gets
owned
them
media.
Ratings.
Yeah, exactly. Sensationalism and so forth. So that in our medicine, when it comes in medicine, our treatment and so forth, I believe that the Pfizer, the BioNTech, the company that developed it in Germany, and that the Pfizer became the main distributor for it and producer for it, I believe that those two scientists and their team and so forth that developed it, I believe they're sincere people of medicine. It is a company, they're making money, that's fine. And then Pfizer is a distributor. Yeah, it's definitely a benefit. That was another thing that was raised in the podcast. It's worthwhile listen. They raised in it, which was that is it in the interest of these big pharma to promote only this, and what might be commonly available, a few things that might be commonly available, which is not even talked about. There's certain treatments that are talked so. Also, there's a suspicion always because of the big companies. There's suspicion always. So I believe that the original ones,
there is,
there's the original couple, that Turkish couple, German Turkish couple, and the BioNTech, they developed it. I believe that they worked around the clock and they beat everybody to the punch and they created the vaccine. And then mRNA, vaccine. Then they, of course, because they have partnership with Pfizer, they had 100,000 people, I think, around the world working on it, some ridiculous amount. And then they got it, and then they got it in production in contract with Pfizer, which is one of the big pharma companies. Yeah, that makes sense because they don't have the can bring things to scale of production required for the whole world, for 1 billion people, 2 billion people, because there's multiple vaccines going on, and and then because they have all the facilities right all over the world to produce vaccines, so then they have a partnership with them. They developed it, they spread it. That's fine, but then the politics of it comes, the economics of it comes, the money of it comes. Yeah, they're making big money. It's not in their interest now to tell everybody to take all these other things, and other things might be discredited, not necessarily. That's where the doctor, your personal doctor, comes in, where their advice on how to best deal with this, that's why it's still important. And they can suggest to you a multitude of other things along with the vaccine. I'm not saying don't take the vaccine. Anyway, it was a very interesting podcast, and it is just a podcast. It's they explicitly say that we're not giving medical advice, but I think these things are good to explore and to make more educated, complete decision, and that can only be done if you do it with your doctor, with your own personal doctor, and take advice directly. Allahu Alam. That was just a thing, and that's related to what we were saying earlier about expert advice. The expert advice is regarding you is your personal doctor. You know, you can go to them; they can guide you in this. You know, in this.
Unless they're a tier 1 and they're closed.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what's your view of your kids getting vaccine? Because that was one of the things we wanted to talk about. Like one of my sons,
Look, I
both my sons are teenagers.
I don't have a problem with it. Look, at the end of the day, I mean, there's a 17-year-old in hospital. I wouldn't want that to be my son. Right? I'm not saying that the vaccine will stop that from happening. My understanding is those that are being jabbed, they will have, they don't get as sick as someone that hasn't. So
same for the adults.
Case,
same. So you
would
would just
so
adults.
it is like give them the best chance you can. Simple.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe inshallah nothing will happen. They won't even get sick from it or whatever. But if something did, how would you deal with that? How could you reconcile the fact that I could have got this guy the jab, but I didn't do it?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
That's the thing with me. And look, at the end of the day, like we've said this from day one, many podcasts ago, advice of what the ulama is saying, what great ulama is saying, what very big ulama all over the world are saying. We have Muslims, you know, we're always talking about, and by no means I'm a good Muslim, I'm far from it, right? But we're always talking about following ulama and listening to ulama and stuff like this, right? So why are we not doing it here then? That's what and you know, it'd be interesting to speak to somebody that's completely on the other side of the fence and say, why aren't you doing it? I remember I was speaking to one brother about this, and he said, what if they're wrong? I said, well, by that reasoning, why are we listening to anything they're saying?
Yeah.
Does he mean the ulama are wrong?
Yeah. I said, no, look, so some of these guys, they've consulted doctors, professionals, you know, professors, and this is where the fatwas come from.
Yeah, and it's haram to give a fatwa based on, and fatwas can be corrected later on, adjusted later on. They're not absolute. They're not like a page of the Quran. They can be derived from a page of the Quran, but they're not the page of the Quran. They're the words of people based on the information. Big imams have retracted their fatwas. Basically, you have this is all information you've got, and you have to form a judgment, a decision for the people, what to do. People asking the question, do I get the vaccine or not? Yes, no, right? That's what it comes down to. And these ulama, they consult immunologists, experts on viruses, they muftis on the medicine itself. They contact the companies to check the ingredients.
Yeah, these aren't just guys. Just one second, Malon. I just want to make a point. These aren't just ulama sitting in a madrasa surrounded by their books, watching YouTube or getting on the internet and going, okay, this is this conclusion to this. They're actually talking to people.
Yeah. If you look at a few of the fatwas from the UK, then you can see they actually contacted Pfizer and Biotech, and you can see the breakdown that they give of the ingredients. You know how they've actually done their research to explain to you that what is, you know. So it's again, expert advice. Expert advice is something that in our deen is highly prized. And at the end of the day, if you're going on social media and really all you can say to that person is fear Allah. If you go on social media and dissing a treatment that's there for the community and putting doubt, shak on it, then you really need to fear Allah, because Rasulullah ﷺ said, those who treat people, because that's the role that you're taking, you're giving medical advice. And then if somebody dies from that, then you're liable. In Sharia, you're liable for giving unsolicited or unqualified medical advice. So this is not it's not my place or your. When it comes to medical advice, you have to go to the experts of that field. But again, it's that sickness some people have, not everybody. They don't take expert advice very well, whether it be on a dini nature, whether it be on a medical nature. They won't take expert advice. They got a problem with expertise. Maybe because they feel dumb in front of them and feeling they're in need of that person. No, I'm serious. They feel inferiority complex. Why wouldn't you take an alim's expertise who studied ilm, if that's his basis, or a doctor's advice if that's his field? What's the thing that will stop you?
But doctors differ in their advice and alims differ in their advice as well.
because they went on
correct,
Google
but
and
no,
I
that's
did
fine.
my research, and my research says
Your research is putting next to someone 6 years in a studying medicine. Like, come on, like if the guy researched for 6 years and studied the human body and specialized all the ins and out, and your Googling is going to be on the same level. I mean, come on. I mean, even a medical article is someone. I bet you these people, they will not even understand if a medical article is in a medical language. I would understand it, like who's who and what's what and what's being explained about proteins and like I have a superficial understanding because this pandemic has been going on for so long. But like a medical research paper written for doctors, for experts, I wouldn't know what they're talking. I wouldn't know what they're really talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that we're talking about this because, like, I'm thinking how, because going back to what you said, Wajid, my mind is thinking about that. It's how do you get these people from, not these people, but just people in general from, I guess, thinking a little bit more,
scientifically,
critically, and just accepting some of the some of the evidence that's been presented to them. My mind tells me what's a lot of the things that I think even I'm guilty of is there's like a little bit of like shunning, kind of like we're kind of like we don't want to hear what
anti-intellectualism. There is that as
like
some people.
Yeah, and people aren't they're not having discussions like there's like all right, it might be pretty dumb not to take the expert advice from a doctor, but I think to sort of alleviate that, we should like at least like give them some sort of, I don't know, a space or some sort of room to say what they want to say, and then through dialogue make them understand.
Make it catchy, but some people might not be smart enough to figure it out. It's very simple. Like some people,
I don't think we've got time for that.
You have to make a catchy YouTube video animation for them. Honestly, that's like for some people you have to really dumb it down because they're not going to get it, and that's why they got the 70-80%. There's just 20% of the population who are not going to get it.
They made that contingency. People though. There are people who
surprisingly,
are quote unquote that are smart, that are experts in certain, even in like in medicine, who are anti-vaxxers as well. So or even people that are, I'm sure there are smart people out there that are also kind of dumb to deny that COVID exists as well. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean the emotional anti-authoritarian. What's the word for it? Anti-establishment, they don't like the government. They don't like because there's that element as well,
But this is what anyway. I don't think this is to do with intelligence. I think this is.
That's what I'm saying. It's not to
do with intelligence. It's not. It's not. It's to do with. My point is right.
Okay. I think it's more of a trusting. I think the whole nature of how COVID came about, how the vaccines came about, how there was like, the governments were trying to do the right thing by protecting people, right?
But they hid a lot of information.
Misinformation didn't go out there. But at the same time, that raised a lot of eyebrows because people were like, well, that's never happened before. We've never been allowed to not talk about or not discuss, on the internet or whatever about a particular topic. So what's going on there? There must be something fishy. Generally. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think.
So what do you think about?
Things could have been done better that way.
Yeah. What do you think about special exemption for ScoMo to go for Father's Day?
Oh, look, I'm on two sides here. There's no love lost between me and ScoMo, but the guy, you have to remember, is the Prime Minister of the country. He works a lot. He probably hardly sees his family. Let's be realistic here.
Poor guy.
Because he's all over the shop.
His job is not as hard as you think. He's got that many advisors, that many people around him that are doing everything for him. Like
You know,
Well,
he has to stand in
someone
front of a camera and talk.
advise him properly.
Someone's written down that speech for him. Sometimes
I
you'll catch
think
them saying things
Australians.
that he didn't want to say.
Yeah, but I think in Australia, you know, when he went to Hawaii, was it Hawaii?
Oh yeah,
First one during the bushfire.
Hawaii.
So
Yeah.
So now we're getting
That's
flashbacks
not his
of that.
fault. That was by accident. He just happened to be in holiday.
No,
bushfires.
no, bro. The bushfires were
No,
going
no,
for
Do I
was-
not remember that correctly?
It was a national
No,
emergency
the
already, and he was on
bushfires
holiday.
were going for weeks. The problem
then Liberal
was
Party-
he couldn't get he couldn't get flights back because remember I think flights were cancelled because there was that much smoke.
Yeah, and then Liberal
Okay,
Party
so it's not-
doubled
so it
down.
wasn't his fault.
But they doubled down. They said he's working so hard.
Yeah,
And everyone's like, what? Like, that's ticked off everybody, like, even more, like, their justification of it. They just kept quiet. They were trying to say how hard he worked, so he needed a break. It's well deserved or something. That didn't go down well with Australians. And then I think this time as well, Father's Day. But the problem is people at New South Wales border and Queensland border, they're meeting family at the border, like literally at a fence.
yeah, and they can't even come inside. Yeah, okay.
And funerals, and people are missing their the last days or minutes with their family and so forth. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that your justification that you have a special set of rules for you. I get it. It's a prime minister.
But
He's got a special set of rules.
But do you know what's even worse than these special set of rules? The tweet that he put up on Father's Day with his wife and his two daughters and the dove. The tweet with the picture was actually taken at the funeral of those kids, at the wake held for those kids that got hit by a car and they all passed away in Sydney.
Oh no!
Remember how there was one family?
They're very toned. They're very
that's
toned.
just the mind boggles.
He doesn't know how to read the room, man.
It's like
his issue.
What's that politician from Texas, US? What's a US politician from Texas? Senator?
Ron Paul?
No, he's not Ron Paul.
He Cruz. Is it Cruz?
Ted Cruz?
Yeah, Ted Cruz, isn't it? Yeah, Ted Cruz, right?
Ted Cruz. He's got a really long nose. Dark hair.
Yeah, he's got a beard now. I think that's... no, like he went for...
Rubio. Marco Rubio?
No, not Rubio. No, Rubio. No. Ted Cruz, right? Ted Cruz.
He's got a southern accent? Southern American accent?
Yeah, he's...
Texas. The Texas.
Yeah, so he... Yeah, because there was a disaster happening, and his family went. He took his daughters and what do you call it? Their friends on a holiday to Cancun.
Oh.
Right. So while there's a disaster going on, you know what happened? Like that electricity, when it was really cold, they had that big freeze. So while the big freeze was going on, there's no electricity in the state. They're going to like a warmer part of, I think Cancun's in Mexico or whatever it is. So they like going to a warmer place, for a holiday. Like it's so, and then they're justifying it. They said it was a political blunder. I mean, most of the politicians, they live in another world. Like if they've been politicians,
they do. Look, they're in a strange bubble. But the thing is, the decisions ScoMo's made, though, some of them, I don't know, man.
He's been okay the last year and a half. He's since that.
That's because he's kept his head down.
Yeah, he's been good. But just now, this one.
You know why he's been good? COVID saved him. Because the whole focus is on COVID. Like sports shorts came and went. You got the ICAC in New South Wales. So many different things, and he's just
everyone forgot about all those issues.
Everybody's going to get all politicians.
Everybody's
going to get punished in the next election. That's for sure. They're going to get punished.
Do you reckon?
Nobody's going to. I think so.
Who do you go to? Like who? What do you?
Like who do we have as a backup?
Yeah,
Albo. We got Albo.
I think COVID wins the next election.
COVID.
Yeah. No. I think like normally in disaster and wars, whoever is in power at that moment,
they stay. That's correct.
They always stay because people close ranks. There's no time for division. It's about unity.
And this is what we know.
Yeah, and we stay with this. This is generally people are they'll stay where they, but because COVID was the government, government, not fighting an external disaster or thing, it was more about controlling you, right? It's more about controlling.
Drop the camera.
It's more about controlling you, your own citizens, and pressuring them and threatening them and policing them. For that time or that moment, you become an authoritarian state, and that they can't win. They can't win in. I mean, rightly so, but they can't. It's a very hard thing to.
But the person that's done that. Yeah, but the person that's become the authoritarian state, according to our current, media or News Corp media, whatever, is Dan Andrews, right? They've painted Gladys, they've painted ScoMo as ones that want the country to open, but within control, because we can handle COVID, we can deal with it, we want to get back to work. If you have a look at the media, the little nuances, the way they paint it, right? If anything, I think Dan's the one that's been, Dan the man with his pandemic is the one that has been attacked the most.
Yeah, he has. And even the New South Wales people, disgustingly, they will attack him in the way he handled last year when they were saying, oh, look at us, look at how well we're doing. They said, well, look at you now. But
even now, he's been backed into a corner because the thing is, as soon as Gladys comes out and says, all right, 70, 80% vaccination rates, we're opening up. Right? Yep. Second biggest state in Australia, second most populous city in Australia, if not on par with Sydney. What choice do we have? We can't close our borders to New South Wales anymore. That trade needs to happen. All that needs to happen. And for someone that's been so far completely pushing zero COVID, now he's got to backtrack because he's got no choice.
Yeah, they're expecting in October. October, we have like 20, 30,000 cases or something they're expecting. Like we're up to.
Yeah, and he's basically being bullied into, all right, well, what choice do I have now?
Yeah. We changed the topic a little bit because enough about lockdown.
We've done COVID to death. But I think
I'm getting
anyway,
sick.
You didn't tell me.
I'm sick of doing khutbas on it. I refuse to do any more COVID-related khutbas. Related about suburb.
We just spoke for an hour about
lockdown.
Right.
Please refer to the last 15 khutbas I gave you on making sabr and tolerating, and this is an unusual situation. And if you want to know more about COVID, go to Sheikh Fulan bin Fulan and listen to his khutbah on COVID. But I can't talk about.
Do you remember when it first started? I actually remember when it first started, where it was we're in this together. No, but in Australia, when we went into lockdown, they said we're in a strange situation. Keep safe. Now everyone's just like, you know what? I'm over it. Just get out there. If it hits you, good luck. Just make blood. Pray to the house, brother. Yeah, I'll make it easy. Just get on with life.
Just the last thing on COVID related, just wanted to share with you. Just hopefully everybody can see this.
That's a nice Masjid Carpark.
The one I'm not sure. Yeah. So this is apparently a rabbi sneaking, or someone sneaking someone from a synagogue.
Is this from the other day?
Yeah, in Melbourne. Yeah, when they surrounded us, he's sneaking. He's got his it's like a Jewish, Orthodox Jewish cat burglar. But anyway,
that's right. Because but you know what happened
people have
there?
Gone nuts. People have gone nuts.
They actually went in, and because I think it was Jewish New Year, so they did it.
Yeah, they waited outside. If that was in a mosque, that would have been, I don't know. It would be treated a little bit differently, I reckon. But anyway,
bro, the cops would have come inside, 100%, shoes on, everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Right?
But anyway, they let them finish the celebrations, and I think they gave out a lot of fines to each person.
Yeah, but you know the planning was? It was pretty smart. Right, so these guys are inside. All these other guys came and stirred trouble outside to divert the attention.
This is one of the getaway. This is one of the guys that got away.
Yeah. So when the attention was diverted, well, he didn't get away because now he's on camera. They'll get him.
Yeah. It's just such a funny thing. I showed it to my mum today. She had a laugh as well. Just people have lost the plot. They just can't take it anymore. They're just
gone crazy.
jumping. People are becoming like escaping through roofs, and like there'll be some movie made about this. But anyway, it just
well, even during the first lockdown, when there was someone who was having a house party, they found people like in the ceiling cavities of houses. So people actually climbed up manholes. Yeah, because there's a party going on. They found people inside cupboards, hiding in like the most
crazy.
random places.
That's hilarious.
Bro, you know what? I reckon I would have gone for the ceiling cavity as well.
Yeah, with the Muslim ones, they just count all the shoes.
That's actually very smart.
We can't move fast enough to care about shoes.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Nah, come on, like.
Yeah, that's anyway. Some good news this week was that kid, the autistic child, the 3-year-old, and he got lost. He disappeared, and then they found him like 2 days later or something, or a day later. So
right,
that was
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is protecting that kid 3 nights.
And he got bit by spiders and roughed up. And
in like 3-degree weather.
Oh, really?
Out in
was
the
that
open.
cold?
No tents.
Yeah.
He's got absolutely nothing. He's wearing that little t-shirt. 3 nights.
Yeah.
How my mind boggles when I think, how did that kid pass his night?
Yeah.
You know what?
So that was
how close they found him to the property.
500 meters, I think they said.
Yeah, but they found him accidentally.
I mean, imagine if he falls down a pipe, or this could be so many things, scenarios that go through your mind. What could have happened?
One of the searches, the reason they were put on towards where he was as well is because they found his footprint in a wombat hole.
Oh.
So maybe he was looking for, shelter or something in a wombat hole. I don't know, right? But
somewhere warm during the night.
Yeah, but because when he was sitting by the river and he was lifting his hands up to drink like this, that's the movement that caught the eye of the chopper.
Oh, wow.
Of the choppers. And they went, hey, look, something moved there. What is that? That's how they spotted him.
Oh, wow.
Like, the heart, subhanAllah, the iman, when I heard that, like, your iman shoots through the roof when you think about the khudra of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and how Allah is the protector.
Yeah, subhanAllah.
3 nights, man. 3 nights out bush. Oh.
Yeah.
That's tough. No food.
Hey, how old was he?
He's like 7,
3.
5?
No, it was 3.
3? No, he wasn't 3. Can't be.
Was it?
No way he's 3. No way
sure?
he's 3.
Nah, it was little, man. It was very little.
No, he can't be 3. Come on. 3
He's not.
was way
No.
He wasn't. Let me check it.
1 second, I'll check it as well.
All right, you check it.
We're all checking it.
No, you two are checking it. I'm going to chill then.
Yeah, it's a toddler, man. It's a toddler. He's 3 years old.
He was 3.
Yeah. 3
Yeah.
years old. SubhanAllah.
The autistic 3-year-old.
That's even more amazing.
Yeah. Allah protects. We had a few other topics, but I think the time has already gone so much. And then,
mate, we spent the whole hour on COVID. How did that happen?
Yeah. So I'll play just add to the stream just to, in case you're feeling sleepy and our COVID talk has bored you. So we'll just
the COVID talk bored me.
फांसी दे दी गई उस फांसी दिए हुए व्यक्ति को
This is in Hindi.
अमेरिकी मददगार था ये शख्स जिसको हेलीकॉप्टर से लटकाकर फांसी दे दी गई और उसके बाद पूरे शहर में उसको घुमाया गया.
This is about Afghanistan's
अफगानिस्तान से तालिबान की क्रूरता की दिल दहला देने वाली तस्वीर सामने आई.
What's with the music in the background? It's so bad.
That's just the program that I got it from.
For hanging at the end of a noose from the bottom of the chopper was the lifeless body of a man.
Okay. Don't you hate that guy?
Ah, bro,
this guy
is,
Goswami
he's
is
like
the worst.
Fox News of India.
No.
But like,
Listen.
next level.
Listen.
We're listening.
Newsmax is like worse than, like more extreme than Fox News. Newsmax is the new Fox News, right? That's a new
Indian right wing.
Newsmax has got nothing, right? Sky News is like lower down. It's a very respectful and upright and good and honest channel. When you compare it
a lot of
to
sarcasm.
Oh,
Sky
okay,
News,
okay.
yeah. When you compare it to the Indian news, so the video that I
Yeah.
showed you was from, there's a program. I forgot the name of the program. What's it called? It was there on its name. So the Indians, but they basically rip into the madness of Indian news. So that helicopter picture it was one of the Taliban hanging. They flew the helicopter around, and then the Taliban guys hanging from the bottom of it to hang the flag on this like giant flagpole or whatever, right? Their flag. But the way it was reported, the Indian news got like diarrhea, like they can't control it. They're going nuts, like, they're going nuts. If you watch it, that was just a little sample. And so this report, I'll just, because I want to tell you, because it's worth the while, watch how crazy it is. It's in English. That lady, she takes it apart. And 1 second. Yeah, it's called. You can find the article Newsance. Newsance, that's what it's called. TV Newsance. So Obsession Afghanistan and Arnab Goswami's book on terrorism. If you watch it, you'll laugh because it's just making fun of his supposed book on terrorism, which nobody's heard of. But anyway, how to solve terrorism. But it wasn't actually, it was a Taliban, but they reported in those videos the lifeless body. A guy was hung from an airport, a helicopter, and was taken around the town.
Because he supported the Americans.
Yeah, this is the level of drama, in Indian news.
Indian movie drama.
It's nuts. It's like nuts. It's like you turn it on for a couple of minutes, it just starts screaming. I got to show it to you, Lata. Lata, what I say, what I'm talking about. It's
showing me. I think everybody needs to see this.
No,
next podcast.
They're screaming. Like you turn it on, you're gonna get a heart attack. Like from just the level of panic that it creates.
They're on the border. They're coming in. They're on the border and they're coming in.
Like
they're in your house.
And the way they work, like
they're actually outside in your kitchen making a chai.
Yeah, like it's so frightening, like it just makes you panic. Like the intensity is just it's like 250% intensity. If Fox News is 100%, they're like 250 plus. I don't know. I'm not sure how else to describe it.
There is no other way to describe it.
Yeah, so that's
imagine all that dessiness, all that emotion coming out.
Yeah,
like all those Bollywood films in one film clip.
I was watching with one of my friends. There was one about last year, the whole Tabligh thing that went on. We talked about this before in Nizamuddin, in the center, the Markaz of Tabligh in Delhi, where Mullah Saad and there's a COVID virus spread through the Tabligh brothers and so forth. So Goswami, the guy at the end, he's just a right-wing nutter. So what did he say? Just the way they talk, they asked him, one of the panel was speaking, and I have to play that for you. He goes, yeah, he will be arrested. Arrested what? I want him to be hanged or something like that. Like just the way they like when you listen to it, this guy's like, they want blood, they're out for blood.
It is completely. Don't forget, we've got a Hindu nationalist government.
Yeah, it's a propaganda machine.
Scapegoated. Yeah, 100%.
It's a
Muslims
propaganda.
are being scapegoated every day. Muslims are being persecuted. That's what it is. Just like Fox is for, the Republicans, and CNN is for the Democrats.
Yeah, but it's on another level, and the level of lies that are there. Like for example, like the last bit that was left in Afghanistan, it's called Panjshir Valley, right? So they thought that this was going to be the last resistance, or the resistance will start from there, right? So they put a video up of quote unquote Pakistan's the immortal enemy, like India, Pakistan immortal enemies apparently. So they put up a video. They hate each other. Both of them hate at political level anyway. They hate each other because of Kashmir and other things, their history. But part of the reason they hate each other because they're so similar. Actually, they actually were part of one country for like a millennia. Now it's like part of a, they're separate and they have separate identities, but they had wars, so they formed these like two separate. But in reality, historically, they're actually one people. Like as a
that was just thanks to the British divide and conquer policy.
Yeah, so don't tell that to Pakistanis. They won't take that the right way. They created Pakistan. But the borders were drawn up by the British. The borders were drawn up by the British. But anyway, the point well, I was going to say something about now slip my mind. Yeah, the Panjshir Valley thing in Afghanistan. The last bit. There's a video game of like guns firing at an airplane. Right, it's from a video game. It's not even real life.
Yeah, I saw that.
They were saying that Pakistani planes have entered into Panjshir. These are videos to prove that. And it's from a video game.
Video game clips.
And the video game person had to come out because this is from our game. This is not real life. Like this is, you can't use it. Like it was so silly. I mean, that's the level. There's no vetting, checking. When we say it's fake news, like Indian news, like
but to be fair, that's actually how a lot of news is. They actually use I forget the word, but it's actually a common thing in the industry to use clips of things that are related, but to what they're selling, but it's not.
They fit it to a narrative. There's a narrative, and they fit it to the narrative.
Exactly.
Yeah, same with COVID. They fit it to the narrative. Like Fauci's, whatever in the US, context I'm talking about. They fit things to a certain narrative. It's true. The narrative is already predetermined. And the problem is like the Western media, they've got this problem as well. But at least they don't do it on this level, right? Using video game footage.
Oh, they don't get caught.
They just like like it's a little bit controlled. There's a bit of like they hide it a little bit. It's a bit more subtle,
I could just see them using like Call of Duty like, footage,
There's an earthquake in Falkland right now.
The dramatization is the next level. Like I said, if you watch it, don't watch it, you might get a heart attack. But anyway, I'll put the link to that video of explaining what it is, because it's something that myself and Abdul Wajid, I mean, we don't watch like Indian news or whatever, but it comes around.
I only watch what you send me.
The vine,
whatever
the grapevine,
you send me is what
it comes
watch.
Along the grapevine, and he's Indian, I'm Pakistani, I watch Indian news, but along the grapevine things get forwarded. And the stupid thing about also both Indian and Pakistanis, they think that the Taliban winning or conquering or whatever it is in Afghanistan, it's like a victory for Pakistan. But they just told, I think today, one of the Pakistani ministers said, we will offer our expert advice to Afghanistan, like send our people. And I think one of the ministers replied back, no, they said we should put, they said we have enough people. Then they said, one of the ministers said we should allow Abdullah, and these are previous prime ministers and presidents of Afghanistan, and what's his other name? Karzai, who was a president. We should allow it. You should include them in the new setup. And the Taliban apparently turned around and said, yeah, you should include Nawaz Sharif and Zardari in your government. Like it's that was good. They should 10%. No, Mr. 10% is Zardari. Yeah, that's right. Benazir's husband. Yeah,
you know why it was called Mr. 10%?
Yeah, on every government contract.
Whatever contract, he had to take 10% for himself. That was given out.
Like you'll get the
you have to bribe him.
Contract. Yeah. They've got billions anyway. These people, like Pakistan's very Mubarak, You can take billions and still the country runs. Anyway. But anyway, that's the nuttiness about the media of both countries. Pakistan's also not that enjoyable to watch either, the news. If you watch it, same thing, breaking news, and like they're screaming at you for. But the Indian one was just a little bit, I got to give it to the Indian ones, they're a little bit notch higher in the intensity, Pakistanis are not so intense. But
that's because the guys are just outside your front door.
Huh?
That's because they're just outside your front door.
Yeah, hopefully, inshallah, we won't go into. But I have to say something about the Afghan or the Taliban or whatever. Like the way the yardstick they've been judged by, the way they've been judged, they wouldn't. But anyway, they have to fix up their mistakes, any mistakes they make. But they're under a microscope, every little thing they do. You're talking about a country of 35 million.
It's been 1 week, man.
Exactly. Like you expect them to be, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter even if it's like if someone does something wrong, and you're saying you're applying Sharia, then it should be applied to your own people. If you say you forgive everybody, then everybody should be forgiven. There should be retribution. Some cases, individual cases, retribution have happened, and that can't be. You have. But it's very hard. A movement of 100,000, 50 to 100,000, each member you're going to control, put reins on.
Yeah.
Like you've been managing this savagery of war.
There was no smooth transition of
because they didn't expect to win in such a short amount of time. They thought it was going to be going months. They knew they were going to win, but they didn't realize they're going to take over within a week. They thought it'd be a couple of months. They didn't realize it's going to be literally days. Yeah, even they didn't expect everything to fall apart in front of them, like the government to just disappear, like it's gone within like days. So, for example, when they came
they had to step in, didn't they?
Like even
because the Afghan government just left, and there was no one.
In Kabul, they said looting was just about to start, and they said like people started looting, like just started, because we had to send soldiers into the city. We had no choice. So, but they have to like you turning a insurgency now into a political, they do have a political side and judicial side, but you have to turn that in. But it's going to take a while to normalize. Like the idea of police carrying AK-47s is not a international standard, right? Like you know what I mean, like pistol, like they got to change the pistols, right?
Or riding on top of a tank.
Yeah, like those sort of things. Or like I saw the police of one city. Two guys got AK-47. The third guy has got a rocket launcher. That's not really like,
And he was pointing the rocket launcher at the guy. I saw that picture.
It's like,
what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You buy that?
So their policing is like military policing. It's not even like a proper. They haven't adjusted to the new reality and training. Like they said, we don't know how to deal with a protest. Yeah, exactly. They've been fighting insurgency. So they said that we don't know how to deal with a protest. Actually, we have to define the rules of what is it. We want people to express their view and their displeasure with us, but we don't know how to actually manage a protest. Like I saw one protest and the ladies are going there screaming at them and this and that. And the guy AK-47s, like, but they can't use them because they're just ladies screaming. So, but there's a part in the protest where the guy locks his gun and you hear the click. All of a sudden the protest in front of me is no longer a protest. Everyone just walking different directions. Like nothing's like you could see very clearly everyone just sort of minding their own business, like they don't know each other, there's nothing to see.
It's like, my problems are gone.
It just took that. But they need to sort of become speaking to some Afghan brothers, and it's gonna be a period of adjustment, and inshallah hopefully go from better. But they announced their government, and that's a big deal because their whole cabinet is made up of there's like 35, 100% Taliban. So, and they're promising, but it's interim government.
That's very inclusive.
No, but they said it's inclusive. Someone was saying on that AFGHANEYE podcast, it's inclusive of all the factions of the Taliban. They didn't leave any of the Taliban sub factions. But interestingly, like the top of their, if anybody wants to understand really what's going on, I would advise them to listen to this podcast called the AFGHANEYE. Really good podcast. Brother from Netherlands and a brother from UK. Afghanis, but they're from there and from the diaspora, as they say. So, but they, mashallah, they do a really good job breaking down, like over 2-3 hours, the tribes involved. So if you see the top of the Amir al-Mu'mineen, quote unquote, of Afghanistan now is Mullah Hibatullah Akhundzada. Then they've appointed a prime minister, who is basically his name Mullah Hassan Akhundzada, right? Then under him you got 2 deputies, Mullah Brother, you see him in the negotiations, Akhund, and then you've got another one which is Mullah Abdul Salam Hanafi, who's an Uzbek, right? Like they're Turkic people from the north, which is very interesting as well. Like he, so that's like from another ethnicity, and the head of the army is Tajik, which is like a Persian ethnic group, which is one of the big majority or minorities in Afghanistan. So they've got within their ranks certain people, but it's like 90% Pashtun, except for like 3 people. Like there's like 95% Pashtun. So it's like one ethnic group because there's a cohesiveness. But what the AFGHANEYE said, rightly so, they've chosen political unity and of their own selves over diversification and inclusiveness of the country, which is more important for them that to establish their governance and system with people they trust first. And then they, in a structure framework, they will set up the framework, and in that framework, others can operate. But they will not be, that requires a little try. But anyway, Allah make it easy. But they said it's an interim government, like in the transitional phase. Allah knows best. Allah help them and bring peace to our country and make it prosperous, inshallah. So now the 2 things that are left now, of course, is dealing with the political system, and secondly, the thirdly is the economic system, which is those, because it's like they're in a drought and they're not doing it well, and economic aid is stopped, and so
I think we'll discuss the economic one next week, because that branches out into a lot more detail of other stuff as well,
like IMF and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
that'll
like
be interesting
IMF
to
and things like that.
Yeah,
that's a much deeper conversation.
Yeah, I mean, and they also, their existence as a polity, as a government, delegitimizes ISIS, Daesh, and hence the attack in New Zealand. I don't think anybody died from it. Did anybody die from it?
No, critical condition though.
Yeah. So see, the Taliban, they don't encourage and they don't promote lone wolf attacks like around the world. They explicitly have a policy, like they will in their own country, they were ruthless, like they had to be as an insurgency, dealing with their enemies, but they don't do encourage people because they're a state, right? They have to be a citizen of the world. Even they said we will observe all international treaties. Interesting, the way they put it, as long as it's within the as long as they're within the Sharia and Islam. Like we will observe all the international treaties as long as they're according to Islam, which is, that caveat will always be there. But the New Zealand one, that's an ISIS thing, and ISIS also is there and against the Taliban. So they hate their mortal enemy.
But the New Zealand guy was in that case anyway, man. He was wanted.
I mean, if anybody goes into a shopping center and starts stabbing people, you got to have some screws loose. But the problem is that the ISIS leadership and ISIS as a group, they encourage these type of things, like they promote. But they have to do it more now because the Taliban's existence as a state delegitimizes them, right? It's an emirate, Islamic emirate. So the Islamic State is now delegitimized as a legitimate state, like a polity, like you guys were failures, and here they succeeded and they won, right? So that's for them. So that's why for them to become relevant, still be relevant in the eyes of their followers, they have to do these sort of like lone wolf attacks, and Allah protect us from them and their misguided ways. But that's something that is a one difference between them, and also Taliban in general. They are not when it comes to like jurisprudence and things. They're totally different. They're more in line with the ethnicity, like the local community of Afghanistan. They're mainly Hanafi. It's not consistent, but they don't have issue with tasawwuf. They have sheikhs, they're Naqshbandis, Qadiri, so forth within the silsila, like within their ranks. They got Sufis. So this is something that is totally different from from ISIS, which is basically like the Salafist type movement. So there are many differences, but there's like 2-3 politically. That's in modus operandi, like the way they operate. That's one of the lone wolf attack is specific to a certain mindset or certain ideology, which the Taliban disown. They're not part of that. So yeah, we'll call it a night, inshallah. Jazakallah khair, everybody, for listening, tuning in. We do apologize for any of the rantings and so forth, but I hope you enjoyed the show.
Assalamu alaikum.
And everyone make dua for Mullah Khalid's keto diet. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bro, I'm going to have to be joining that diet soon. You don't understand how much weight I put on.
Yeah, look all right. Alhamdulillah.
No, trust me, bro.
All right.
I'm actually
Assalamu
thinking about it too,
alaikum.
like,
Assalamu
that
alaikum.
will be good. Like, so.